her contact information in just a bit. Her very own media program, and with that, she is a Pinterest pioneer. Jen can tell us a little bit more about what that means, but Pinterest pioneer means she's a part of an exclusive kind of group that helps Pinterest as an organization really stay connected to the community and make the right choices. She started in the corporate world, and she has kind of worked her way into being a Pinterest expert and helping other business owners with their Pinterest needs through coaching and sessions and everything else, from free resources and just overall kind of guidance. She has many kind of groups and things like that. So feel free to hit up Jen on Facebook. She's got the group Jen Vasquez Media, and then go to our Pinterest account as well. And then you can get all of her coaching resources on her website. So there'll be free resources at the end that we'll go through. But Jen has been such a great kind of partner and friend to us here at Tailwind. This is the second session she's done for us, and we always get record attendance and just packed full of information. So we're very excited to have her. So with that, I'm going to toss it over to Jen, keep the intro short, because I know you guys are really here to hear Jen speak about Pinterest and all the advice that she's going to give you. So with that, Jen, thank you for joining us. Thank you for hosting. Thank you for sharing all your wisdom. I'm going to turn the screen over to you.
Yeah. And if you can, let's see. Yeah, it's disabled for me. We always have to have this with Zoom, right? Zoom is never perfect. It's just like people. I think you have to make me a co-host if I'm not incorrect. There we go. Awesome. Right. Thank you. All right. So first I want to start with, I was so excited. There was 98 of you that submitted profiles. And if we tried to audit all of them, we would be here probably all day. And that's not possible. That's not something that you would necessarily stick around for. So I randomly picked the accounts that were similar to the bulk of the accounts so that everybody can learn a little bit from each account that I audit. But you can also send me a DM in Instagram at Jen Vasquez Media. I will be doing some mini audits potentially in my stories moving forward. And then hopefully, if there's enough interest, we'll come back and do this again. So let's go ahead and get started first. This is Connect Again blog. And first of all, I love the photo that you chose because it is clearly a relationship type of photo. You want to make sure that when somebody lands on your Pinterest account, that they know in like 2.5 seconds, like who you are and what you do, which is not as easy as it seems, but you did a really good job because the hand holding is like, brings that connect, the word connect again for your blog into play. So that's great. I will recommend that you put a photo of you. And I know this seems really sort of off. If you were like a Tailwind or an Apple, you're going to have your logo there, right? But usually with a blog, it's one person or a team of people, but you having your face on there sort of implies trust, if you will. And my recommendation always, and I know that Susan put together a really cool handout that you guys are going to get with some like basic tips that I'm probably going to cover on all of these. But you definitely want to use the photo of you that you use on Instagram and other social media platforms. You really should have that same photo across all platforms, which is something we don't necessarily remember to do when we're joining a new platform. We'll maybe just throw up a picture. But the reason for that is when they click from here over to your blog, they're going to see the same information. But oftentimes when it comes to Pinterest, what we find is that Instagram is one of those things that people go from Pinterest to Instagram to kind of make sure you're a real person and kind of stalk you a little bit, right? And this is in particular if you're selling something or you have services or products. People tend to want to buy from people that they like or they feel a connection with. And Instagram lets us do that because we're sharing of ourselves, hopefully, even if it's a business account on Pinterest, or excuse me, on Instagram. And so if you have the same profile photo for your Pinterest profile as for Instagram, they're going to know instantly they're in the right place. So that alone can help you get sort of more leads, really, because it's helping that know, like, and trust in the marketing. And it's kind of implied trust that you're the same person there as you are here. The other thing is that you claimed your website, and I know that because you have the little world here, so that's fantastic. That is a quick way that people can click and go directly to your website. If they've seen a pin and then they land on your profile and they want to know more about you, they'll typically read that bio and then hop over to your blog or your website or what have you, whatever you've linked there. Just a note that you can link more than one thing. So for instance, I have the Pinterest Queen is a place where I have all of my opt-ins and free information. And so I've claimed that as well as my website. So make sure that you're going on the back end of Pinterest and claiming all of the content places that you put information if you have more than one location. So on this title, or excuse me, bio, it has marriage after kids has its challenges. Discover ways to connect with your spouse for a healthy marriage. I provide marriage advice to help you have a strong, healthy marriage after kids, which, by the way, is super important. I have 4 kids and grandkids now, and this is great information. One thing that I might do in the bio for you is to turn it around a little bit. And instead of talking about us, which we do all the time on all the platforms, we actually want to talk about their challenges and their problems or issues they might have, and how our content helps them to transform and make it happen. So you could talk about something like, marriage is not so easy once you add kids, or something like that. Or have you found that? Or anything that the people that have come to you and have like shared information with you, either in comments or in emails, using their words is also really helpful. And you might even just be straightforward and say, the content you find here will help you with tips and tricks or suggestions to help strengthen your marriage after you have kids. Like, tell them the content that they're going to find on there. I think that will be super helpful. And then I love that you're doing idea pins. I totally recommend it, even though at this point they don't have links. Any day now, they're going to have links on idea pins moving forward. That was something that Pinterest released in November when they ended one of their programs. They kind of had that as on the plus side, you want links, and they're going to come in 2023. So using these are important because just like Instagram has reels, idea pins are like the reels for Pinterest. And they're a really great way to foster engagement. Every time they click on a different panel to go to the next slide, if you will, that's all engagement. That's all taking action. And that all really helps your account to get found even better. And then just quickly looking at your, if it pops up, your boards. I really love that you have board covers. I used to never worry about board covers, but now that idea pins, when they click on them before they have links, take you to the Pinterest profile, it just makes it look nice, a little bit more organized. I might suggest that you not use the images because the words are a little harder to read and you really want those words to stand out. So someone coming here can very quickly see the type of content you have and click on that board to either follow or engage with your pins. All right, let's move on to the next one. And the next one is Lindsay Maloney. Again, bravo about having the link. And I love that you have your picture here. Right now it says Lindsay Mahoney and Maloney, business coach. What I always recommend, if you have text on the cover image, which I totally recommend for something like your business, which is kind of hard to show, you could have a picture of you working with someone. Like if you ever have brand images, just have someone jump in that photo with you and be talking to them or looking at the laptop or what have you. But in other cases, like this case, if you don't have that picture, to have what transformation you provide for people. So I know you're a business coach. Do you help them with mindset? Do you help them with finances? Do you help them with growing their business on the marketing side? All of that stuff. Make sure you do something very short and sweet. You don't want a paragraph up there. No one's going to read that. But if you have a few things that you help them to transform, that's very helpful. It says, I help coaches create businesses that make them happy. Design dreamy bundles and programs clients love to buy. Keep it simple, strategic, and thoughtful. So you are telling them kind of what you do, but if I was somebody that wanted to work with a business coach, I still don't necessarily know exactly how you help me. So our bios are a way of being very specific on what you help. So I like to say stuff like, I help on my wedding photography business, I'll say, I help fun, adventurous, and playful couples document the images that their grandkids will soon look at, right? That tells you super specifically the type of people I want to work with and what I do. And so in here, I would say, I help, is it service-based businesses? Is it, and I believe me, I get it because I have been there many times before where I feel like I can help everybody, which is great. But when it comes to marketing, the more niche down you can get on marketing, the more you're going to get those clients you want to work with. So like I specifically work with service-based businesses, and in particular, wedding pros and photographers, because that's what my first business was, my second business now. And so you want to be super specific. So here you can say, I help what kind of coaches? I help, be specific. What type of coaches do you help? And how do you help them? You help them go from frustrated and disorganized to streamlined systems or those types of things. Because you, again, just like the photo, you want to make sure that you can see instantly, people can see instantly how they would work with you or how they would work with you and what they would do. Again, you have idea pins, so I love it. Let me look real quick here. I should click on it ahead of time. I love the look of your boards. I always would say, this is something that you'll have, I'm sure, on the handout because I say it all the time. I always recommend people have like 4 boards. Your business name board, your full business name, your free resources board. So I have free Pinterest marketing resources, or on my wedding business, I have free wedding planning resources, right? That board, all of the content that I have about that is going to go on that board. That's the board that will end up getting clicked the most, by the way. And then 2 boards at least of what you do. So if you are so you're a business coach, let's say you're a business coach for, I always have a hard time coming up with things. I don't know, whatever it is, you're going to have business organization board, and then time management board, maybe like whatever it is that you do, you want 2 different boards for the exact same content that you're going to be creating, so that when you have pins, you can pin one to this board and then you can pin another brand new pin to the other board. This makes sure that you have enough boards. You probably have that in all of these boards. And one other thing that I might make note of too, I love to have branded content, our brand colors and fonts when we create pins. But I always tell people, experiment with other colors. If you, for instance, go and do a search on, let's say, business time management, and you look at the feed that it pops up after your search, and you see a bunch of light pastel colors on the majority of pins, make a black pin. Make a dark blue pin, make a pin that will stand out from the feed, because people are drawn to click on the things that stand out. So don't always just go with your brand colors. Try, experiment a little bit with others. Thank you. All right. Katie, business consultant for interior designers and wedding pros. By the way, I have mentioned this before, but this is fantastic in terms of it's in your name area, right? It's called your name, but you always want to use your main keywords on Pinterest for the title of your Pinterest. I love that Katie added her name. I always put my first name also, because you want to connect with them as a person, but having business consultant for interior designs and wedding pros, super specific. Love, love, love that. Bravo. The other thing is on your cover photo, I don't necessarily, it's pretty. I love it, but I don't necessarily think that I understand what you do. So I might do a cover photo that on the left side has like a wedding venue fully decorated, the one that you're the most proud of. And then on the right side, maybe just interior designs, business consultant for interior, maybe an interior designer adjusting something in the living room that maybe you feature. And then over the top, you can say business consultant for interior designers and wedding pros. Even though you have it in your name, you can put it up there. Or you might say business coach for designers for homes, or like you're using the same words, but different keywords to see what ranks. So if you're, and everyone should, be looking at every few months, looking up keywords, because every few months on Pinterest, different keywords are going to be ranking differently. That's why the trends tool is so popular. But use different keywords for the same thing so that you're getting multiple opportunities to get found on Pinterest. And that's everywhere, not just cover and the name. I don't see the world here, but it is linked up. So I have some, and you're a verified merchant. So of course you probably have a claimed account. I would just double verify that your account is claimed, because it typically shows a world, but as in life, nothing is perfect when it comes to Pinterest. And then in terms of your thing, operations consultant for interior designers and wedding planners, who these are the type of people, bravo, you're describing exactly who you want to work with. For those who want to build a profitable and sustainable business, it all starts with client experience process. You're telling them how you're helping them, and then download your client experience blueprint. Bravo. I absolutely love it. One thing that I would make note of, and this is for all of Pinterest, when you're using tiny URL or bit.ly links or your email client landing pages, blah, 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 ConvertKit link, those don't get the same reach as your claimed website. So I always recommend making a landing page on your website that you have claimed on Pinterest with the last little bit. So if this is a client experience blueprint, you might have whatever dakotadesigncompany.com/blueprint, and then insert that content, that sign up where they're going to sign up for your stuff, into that page. I promise you will get more. I can't promise, but I am telling you from my experience working on Pinterest since it was started in 2010, that you will get more opportunity. You will show up on more feeds, because it is implied that it's trusted. And the alternate links, I call them, they're basically using somebody else's link, is not as trusted and may not go as far. I've seen some people have great success with it, but why not get all that traffic instead of getting that traffic to tiny URL? Get all that traffic on your website. Okay. Whoops. I followed you by accident. I'm going to keep it on there. All right. And you have a shop, which is great. Love that you have idea pins. Super happy. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. I would say that the text, the color of the text is a little hard to read. You don't have to do dark black bold, but do something that's a little bit more visual. But I love it. And you seem to have a lot of good things. I don't see offhand, and I could miss it, your business name board. Definitely have a business name board. All of your pins can ultimately go to your business board, but I always say when you're pinning, to always pin to the most specific board first, even in Tailwind, and then you can put it to your business board, or you could put it to your free resources board, but always put it to the board that makes the most sense first, because you're going to get a whole lot. Those will always be the ones that get the most analytic juice. All right, next. Stumptown DJ. I love that you claimed your website. Bravo. I would, of course, include a cover photo. And here's a big tip. If you can't find the ability to make it a cover photo in the settings area on Pinterest, chances are you have a personal account. So just let you know. But if you've claimed your website, it's most likely a business account. I just want to make you aware of that. But definitely, I can envision a cover photo of a DJ. I know you have many, just pick one, a DJ at the board, right, where they're playing the music, and have it be from the side with all the dancing people going wild, right? Especially if you're a DJ that has props and things, the more props, the better. And basically you're showing them, not only are you a DJ, but you can get people dancing, which is always the biggest ask at a wedding. So make sure you put that. Local Portland DJ company that's professional, organized, and blah, 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 and money. I don't know that you should put, that you have to put money on that page, although it looks affordable and not all DJs are as affordable. So that might help people more want to click on your content. What I would put on there is, so Portland is, where do you work? So for instance, my wedding photography business, I'm located in San Jose, California, which is like Silicon Valley. So I could use San Jose, I could use Silicon Valley, I could use the Bay Area because I go to all the cities in the Bay Area. I could even go Northern California in terms of keywords. If you are a local business, and this is how I help all my clients to get found better and faster, is because when you're a local business, using local keywords on every title, every pin, every bio, everywhere will help you get found faster. Because consider yourself, if I'm looking for a DJ for my wedding, I'm going to put the city or the area that I live in and then say DJ to find the DJ. And of course, Pinterest pops up, Pinterest searches pop up in Google searches all the time. So make sure you did great by using the word Portland, but I might name other areas, other cities, every counties, or what have you in there. And I might say something like the type of couples that you love working with. Maybe we work with couples who love dancing and want their guests to have a blast at your weddings. Like, that's a priority, right? That's what's going to get found by people. So be a little bit more specific in the type of people you work with and why you are so great. That's what I would put in there. And if you have their lead magnets, they're called multiple different things, but even if you have a one-sheeter tips for planning your music list, put that link on there. Even if it's a blog post that says stumptowndjs.com/playlist. And then you can be able to have them not only go to your website and make Google even happier with all the people going to your website, but they're getting some tips and extra from you, and it gives them a reason to go to you. I love that you have photos of people. One thing I might recommend is taking the photos you have and cropping them so they're long portrait way, because portrait photos do better on Pinterest, not just because that's what they want, but because they take up less space when they're smaller, right? And so as you're scrolling through, the long pins are going to be the ones that people are going to look at most. I love that you put these the actual reviews and testimonials. I might suggest that you create a graphic with the what they said on there, maybe a picture at their wedding, and create like a pin graphic, because some people might not try to read this writing, and that will give them sort of a quicker understanding that you guys are awesome. And then looking really quickly, and then I think we'll be good for a break for Greg, right? By the way, I love that you have photos of your DJs, because that's super cool, especially like they are going to look at the wedding. Some people want that suit. So make sure if you have at least one person in a full tux or something, so people won't assume you're going to dress down. That's sometimes what people are looking for with DJs. This is great. I think it's awesome. All right, we'll take a break.
Jen, while Greg is walking through what he's going to cover, if you could catch up on some questions you have.
Yes,
about business
absolutely,
and all sorts of things. So if you want to catch up on those in the QA tab as well as the chat, that'd be really good. Okay. All right, thanks, Jen. Jen is going to be back after a couple of minutes. We wanted to take this opportunity to show you something that we've been working on here at Tailwind that our customers and our team are really excited about. So with that, I'm going to bring on Greg Starling. He is leading our Tailwind Labs front on this kind of journey right now through our newest feature called Ghostwriter. So Greg's going to show that, and then we'll turn it back over to Jen.
Okay, yeah, so thank you. By the way, Jen, this is always super fun, and I love watching you work, and I learn so much every time. So I've taken tons of notes, and I will continue to do so. But on this little break, I'm sure a lot of you are aware of Ghostwriter, but please don't jump up and go get a snack or bathroom, because there's going to be something really cool at the end that will be new to everybody, since it literally just got pushed up. I was playing salt and pepper push it, as I tend to do whenever new product is pushed up, not an hour and a half ago. So this is very, very new. So we'll start off with the beginning, which is just the Ghostwriter beta, just so everybody's aware of kind of what we're doing here. In this case, we're going to create a Pinterest pin. We're going to make a, let's say this is a featured product would be good. It's a polka dot dress. We're going to add just a couple of keywords here, say barbecue and summer would work. Maybe even sundress. Let's do those 3 keywords. And we also want to add a call to action. I would always add a call to action, but it may not always be appropriate for every type of pin. I maybe make an argument that it is, even if it's a lifestyle pin. Say, hey, let us know what you think. But anyway, I'll just say something like check out our website. And then we're going to go ahead and generate a description. So what it's doing now, so a lot of you have probably heard about ChatGPT or GPT-3, those types of things. That is the technology that all this is built on top of. And so if you've heard of that, that's what we're doing here. And so you don't have to get overly into the weeds as you can. It's super fun. That's all I do all day, every day. And I really, really love it. It's actually what I do most nights, just because I have so much fun during the day. But anyway, if you don't want to, here's a layer over the top of it that'll do what we're trying to do. And we also have some kind of secret sauce underneath that tries to write it in a way that is going to get you the most exposure possible. So in this case, you can see here's the pin description generated, barbecue. So it's pulling in our keywords. Nothing screams summer like a bright, playful polka dot dress. That is an outstanding intro. But you can go through. I know Jen oftentimes will use all 3 of these descriptions that are generated. Feel free to do that. It screws up our metrics, but please feel free to do that because we don't realize that you're doing that. But still, that's awesome. That's great. So so here you can choose, and then if you were, I like the first one, I'm just going to stick with it. You're saving the description, and then you're just back. You're just back to the normal old pin scheduler, and you have your description ready to go. And I have Grammarly over the top that's saying, I can do different things. So nothing wrong with your little Grammarly in the help make sure things are perfect. So I imagine it's just wanting me to hyphenate polka dot. Yeah, Grammarly likes the hyphen. So yeah, so that's Ghostwriter is very simple, very straightforward. There is not a whole lot to it, and that's the point. We're trying to make it where you can create pins and do what you do. Some of you, if you're a writer, maybe you love writing Pinterest pins, but if you are running a DJ business or are a consultant of some type or have an art store, you may just want to get your photos out there, get people to find you. And this is a way to be able to create pins or the content, the descriptions for the pins relatively quickly. So that's what probably a lot of you have seen. It's also in our extension. So if you use Tailwind's extension, it is there and kind of follows you around, which has been a cool thing. This is the piece. This is not Owl Labs. This is AI Labs. Although I do want to call this little ghost guy Owl. I'm going to petition our company to see if we can do that. But now in the AI Labs, you'll see we have a lot of things that we can help you generate. So from the Pinterest pin description, like we just looked at, we have some AI generated images. Those are great. We were actually mentioning earlier, those are great for things like, a scene at the beach or something a little more kind of stock photo-ish, but all AI generated images are struggling for the most part with humans. So I would personally avoid using human images, but it is really a quick way to get some different things. So this is a lab, which means that it is beta or maybe even alpha in a lot of ways. Things are not always going to be perfect, but I promise you we're not putting anything out there that I'm not personally proud of, and I don't think it's really good. It just means there might be something weird that might pop up from time to time, or we end up figuring out that nobody actually uses this thing and we'll just take it away, if we realize that nobody's using it. So this is kind of our area where we experiment before we'll move things into the core product. But this is for now where all of the AI pieces will live in addition to places in the core product. So you'll see them start to live here first. And then as we see, hey, people actually are engaging with this, people are using it, people are finding value, and then let's figure out how we can move it into other pieces of our product. But we have a lot right now of different email frameworks. The attention, interest, desire, action, ADA is a really normal email framework that people will use. All of these are just the different frameworks. You can pick and choose email subject line. We will be adding anywhere from 2 to 5 new AI things every week for the foreseeable future. So adding things like coming soon, like blog idea generation, Twitter tweets, being able to take an article and that you've written, a blog post that you've written, and convert that into multiple tweets or multiple things for various social media platforms. So those are the things that are coming. Those are the things that, like I said, that's all I work on all day. And I have a whole lot of fun doing it. The engineering team has this on Rails now. So it's able to roll things out really quickly as of, like I said, about an hour ago. And so we're going to be rolling things out in a hurry. So I'm just going to make one email. And I have not done this, so hopefully it doesn't break. But let's say we're going to have an email where we're launching a new fall clothing collection, maybe dress collection. I'm going to generate the email. I'm going to pray that this works because it should, but I haven't had a chance to test. I was walking upstairs and putting my headphones on. Okay, here we go. So this is an AIDA framework. So we're looking at attention, interest, desire, action in a framework. So yeah, this seems pretty good. Are you ready to get your hands on the hardest wardrobe pieces this season? Make a statement in style. Here's maybe you want to delete that. I would probably want to delete that. That's from, feminine florals to edgy designs. Now, this may not be you. It may not be exactly what you're doing, but just go through and edit. This is the idea here. And apparently this is a British version. So we're going to change color to color. But go through, just kind of tweak it, make it your own, but hopefully, this will, we'll take those out. That's what I mean about beta. Like it shouldn't have these tags here, but you can see what it's doing. Their action, don't miss out on a special sign up for our newsletter today. And then a call to action here at the end. Don't wait any longer. Click the link below. And then so you would take this and hopefully this would get you much quicker, get your emails done in a much quicker way using frameworks that are proven to work. The FAB framework, I use the FAB framework all the time. Whenever I used to do a lot of B2B corporate stuff where we'd have FAB worksheets that we take in. So they're using frameworks that we know are successful frameworks that we know that are tried true frameworks. So if you have a particular one you like, or you just want to play around with them all, like you can absolutely do that. But hopefully, in this case, you'll be able to get email going much quicker than you would starting from scratch. Even if you only end up using 25, 30, 40% of it, just getting something out and oftentimes I think we over romanticize a blank page, and it's got a million possibilities, and there's so many ways that I can go, and I love this blank page, but the truth is blank pages stop us from making money. And so hopefully we can help a little bit, get you past that blank page and get you to a spot, a jumping off point that can get you moving and on to doing what we're all trying to do, and that's make more money for ourselves and our families. So but that is it. That's the big announcement. It is live for everybody, and it is on the left-hand bar here at Tailwind whenever you log in. So you should be seeing it, and please start playing with it. If you have any trouble with it or see any problems, please just reach out to me. You can always shoot me an email. Somebody can drop it in the chat. It's just greg@tailwindapp.com. And I would be more than happy to figure it out. Or if you have ideas, something cool you think would be good that we add, you see some AI somewhere and you're like, oh, well, this AI company, company X is doing this, and I think it's really cool. Or they're doing something that you're doing better. I want to be the best. Let's figure out how to make it better. So if you see something like that, let me know, and we'll figure out how to prioritize it and get some things in. Or if there's a better way, we'll figure out how to make ours better. But I am incredibly excited about rolling this out. This is I think this is like transformational in so many ways. So please, feedback is greatly appreciated, and use it because I think it'll really help your business. So.
Hey, Greg, you have a few questions in chat. If you could answer those in chat, that would be really helpful. One really basic question Christina asked is, how do you access Ghostwriter from the extension?
Well, it's just right there. I don't know. I don't have the extension installed on this computer. It's on my other computer.
I can show you if you'd like.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I could walk you through, but it's not. I wish I had done, but I don't have it on my computer where I demo things from. So
yeah, I'll just share my screen real quick.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'll hand it back. Let's see. I want this screen. Is that the right one? Yes. So this is inside Google Chrome, and down at the bottom, you can see there is a little Tailwind icon. Just click on it. Now, I don't know if you can see the pop-up. Is it showing? Okay, let me switch the share to that. And this is what pops up. Tailwind Ghostwriter. Pinterest description, Instagram caption, Facebook caption, email subject, generic text, and an image. So it's just a little icon at the bottom of the corner. And if the icon is bugging you, you click the little cog, and you can change the settings and eliminate it from the pages where you don't want it.
And everything you see in the AI lab area will be on the extension. So we want that. So if you're writing an email in Gmail, or you use, obviously we'd love you to use Tailwind's email, but if you're using, Constant Contact or ConvertKit or some other Klaviyo, some other email provider, we want you to be able to use our technology there too. So the extension is there, and it's live for you to use wherever it fits your needs. So we've kind of taken two approaches. One is we want everything that you do to be on our platform if you want, but we also want to be able to go wherever you go. So we're trying to cover both sides of those from a marketing point of view.
I love it so much. And I will answer a question because I'm very familiar with ChatGPT, and I know Greg can answer it too, but someone asked about the concern for Google recognizing AI content. And you're right, it can recognize it. It could potentially throttle back how it could get spread out. But what I always look at ChatGPT or anything else at is a great starting point. I mean, Ghostwriter is fully complete. I will say that it's kind of very exciting. But with ChatGPT, I will take the framework, but you have to put in your brand voice. All of the information, like I would never say hello. I always say, hey, like that's the way that I talk. So if ChatGPT said hello, I'm going to make that hey. I'm going to make sure to use my verbiage, Jenisms, if you will, the things that I always say in all of my blogs, because then that comes across as yours and not just AI created content. And I always look at especially ChatGPT as a great starting point. And the more accurate, the better. And I know Greg is great at this, but the more information you give the AI, the better results it'll give you, like full paragraph to describe your ideal client, and then ask it to write an email or to write a blog post. It is going to be so much more on target for your ideal client, and it'll help you get better engagement.
Yeah, I think to just kind of piggyback on that real quickly, and I know that's not why people are here, so we'll get back to Jen's critiques. But you can even do things like, and we can get detailed into this maybe on another call, but you can do things like feed it your existing blog post and tell me to say, what is my, look at this blog post, tell me what the tone, the voice, and those types of, and create your own writing style. And then when you ask it in the future, say, write it in this style, and you're already going to be 10 steps ahead of what most people's basic GPT usage is. So yeah, I'll jump in the chat and answer any questions anybody has.
So I'm just going to take a couple questions, and I want to get back and try to do a few more audits if I can. But there was a prominent question that was asked about what is a business name board and how do you use it? And when you search in Pinterest or on Google for your business name, Pinterest results will come up, and it'll probably come up, hopefully, with your Pinterest profile. By adding a business name board, that will come up in results also. So it's just a way of getting featured more often by having both. And the content that you're going to put on that board is every blog post, any pins that you have about your services or your products, anything and everything that is about you. So it is a great board to have, and it ends up being between the free resource type board and business name board. Those will often be your top two boards, because that's what people are interested in potentially when they go to your profile, right? About you and your business. So the other thing that someone asked, which is great, and I get this question all the time, and I may not answer it as fully as you want, but people always say, do we pin other people's content? And it's true, because years ago, it used to be that the bulk of content was other people's pins, and then a smaller percentage was your pins. Pinterest has changed with the times, and it's all about actionable, helpful, inspiring content. And I personally do share other people's pins on occasion if it reinforces the stuff that I'm working on or helps support the type of education that I do and of people that I trust. The other thing is that I love Tailwind communities, formerly tribes, because you have it's like group boards on steroids, where group boards don't necessarily work as much anymore. These Tailwind communities work phenomenally well, and they will always have you pin one, and then you have to share a pin from the community to your board. And so what I do is I always, when I'm sharing pins there and I'm doing the reciprocal of sharing a pin back, I typically look for the pins that have a ton of engagement. The little blue flame at the top, you'll see those numbers indicate the popular type pins, or the pins that a lot of people are resharing. And then I will go ahead and reshare it. It could be on my free resources page if it's about that content, or something else, or somewhere else. You want to make sure that the pin you share matches the board you're sharing it to. But there's no rule or law or best practices to not share other people's pins. We just want the focus, or Pinterest just wants the focus on your content. Great content that's shareable, inspiring, and educational. That's what they're looking at. I'll go ahead and try to look at the questions again, but if I don't get to them, send me an Instagram DM. I'm happy to answer. I just want to share and try to get to a few more profiles if I can. Go ahead and stop me when I start to get long. All right. Outshined photography. Oh, sorry. I got to move all of these. Everybody's picture is all over. I can't see. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Outshined photography, Washington elopement photographer. Gorgeous image. Love the image. Totally seems adventurous. And elopement, meaning just going out in the middle of nowhere and getting married, totally signifies kind of what you do. A picture that might be better, if it's something that you can capture, is you photographing this gorgeous couple. Like if there's a way to get a photo of you doing what you do, that would be even more ideal, but the photo is gorgeous. Stacy, I'm Stacy Washington. First of all, we never have to say who we are in there. You could put Stacy and then a slash and then about outshine photography, Washington elopement photography. You could put your first name in there because I do think it's valuable there. But in your profile, I prefer you put more or other sort of searchable content in there, keywords. So Washington elopement photographer, Washington's big. Is there an area that's like an area that you live in or work in? Even people who are traveling photographers, I still recommend that you talk about your location specific keywords and then list things like and worldwide, love to travel, any of those types of things in that bio. But a lot of couples will rarely hire a photographer that is not where they're getting married. Even if you can do it, they're going to make all kinds of assumptions about cost to get you there and things like that. So that's rarer. So I always say to focus on the area. You can still use Washington everywhere, but also use keywords about this specific area. I do a lot of Yosemite elopements as an example. So I have Yosemite, I have Big Sur, I have Big Basin, like all of the things that I love to photograph in. So be a little bit specific about that. And the fact that you're a photographer and a planner is ideal. I would talk more about that you work with couples who love adventure and doing things their own way. And I can plan and photograph, so you don't have to worry about all those details. Like I would put a little bit more specific information on how you can help. And then of course, all these other states are great too. When you're doing individual pins, I would also make sure that you're using where that elopement was, whether that's Utah, Alaska, Oregon, include the city name. And sometimes photographers, and I don't know if you are one of them, so we can look, but a lot of times photographers will only put pictures on there. And of course, they're gorgeous photos. That's great. But they can end up on a 16-year-old future wedding board, right? They may not be connected to booking you. And the pins that help you to get booked are pins that are graphics that say gorgeous Yosemite elopement, and then click to see all the images. People who are getting married in Yosemite are going to click on that, go to your website, and then potentially work with you. Where if they're just looking for pictures or photos in Yosemite, those photos will come up, but they may not click through and find out your prices or how they can work with you. So even though you have photos on there, and I would still include uploading gorgeous photos because that's going to get engagement and saves, you want to make sure you're getting those outbound clicks as a business and make leads to your business. So make sure you're also making some pins that are educational comments, like how to get married in Yosemite, things to think about. Here's a checklist. Like any of that kind of content does incredibly well for people getting married, which I'm assuming is who you want to like connect with, right? The people that are actually booking the weddings. Your photos are gorgeous, FYI. All right, this mama blogs work at home jobs, frugal living, and make money. So one thing I would say is I love multi-passionate people who do multiple things like I do, but I have 2 separate Pinterest accounts. one for my photography business and one for my Pinterest marketing business, even though they often overlap because that's the people I work with. I have 2 separate accounts. So if there's a way to create, so it looks like you're offering work from home jobs for moms. I'm guessing that, but I don't know for sure. I would be a little bit more specific and diving into that. You can still share frugal living and stuff, but what's the way that you're making money? If you're making money as a blogger by getting more people to your blog, then that I totally get, and you can totally try that. Again, I would put your face on that profile image, but I love the photo that's showing the typing on the keyboard, because that's kind of what you're all about. Make money online, make money from home, save money, and frugal living. I would be really more specific. I would say things like great actionable content for stay-at-home moms who want to contribute to their home budget, or like be more specific in your description. So oftentimes these types of profiles can look more spammy because it's keyword, comma, keyword, comma, keyword, comma, which is kind of frowned upon a little bit. We want to make it more of a paragraph, a human read paragraph. So I help stay-at-home moms make more money online, live more frugally, and then blah, 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 blah. Like make it more of a paragraph, because that will go a long way to helping. Again, I love that you have idea pins, and I'm just clicking over to the boards. Oftentimes this happens with board covers. When you make board covers, when you upload it as a pin, but you have to move it when you go in to edit the board after you've added the pin and select that pin as your board cover. You need to move the pin down so that it's centered and readable. The other thing is I might use text that's not handwriting, even though Pinterest is super smart and it could read a ton of things. We're making these not just for Pinterest, but we're making them for people. So like me on my big computer screen, I have a hard time reading that like this. Of course, I'm old, but I would make the title a whole lot bigger and then your website smaller. Also, when adding your website to every pin graphic, which I would, you don't need the full thing, HTTP or www. You want to just have the website, whatever that is, .com. Did you want to say something?
Oh, no, I was just giving a 5-minute warning.
Okay. Flora Nova Designs. First of all, Flora Nova Design is your business name. I might put a up and down slash. I don't even know what that's called. And then I would put like wedding florals, or I would put wedding florals. Even if you do all events, I would put wedding florals on this name sign. You can have your business name, but also put kind of the keyword of wedding florals or wedding flowers. A lot of people type in flowers versus florals, which is an industry term. So consider using flowers. You can interchange them, use them here, there, everywhere, all of them, florals and flowers, but a lot of couples are typing flowers in there. We are Seattle-based, award-winning studio offering elegant floral events. So you're saying who you are and what you offer, but I would love for you to extend that further for people who love flowers and want a full flower experience at their wedding, or you know what I mean? Because I'm assuming that you would want those big, huge events that have a ton of flowers, which is going to be a nice budget as a wedding. But I would be a little bit more specific on the people that you are serving. And then I will leave it at that, because I know we're coming down and maybe I can answer some more questions.
Yeah, Jen, thanks for all of that. I feel like you need to take a breather. That was a lot of information and not very much time. I feel like there's so many ideas swirling around. Thank you. I don't know how you do. Jared had a good question that I feel like is universal. So how frequent would you post idea pins? Would you do it for every pin or just select viral pins?
I think if you're doing it for every, so let me share with you what I typically recommend to my clients. Everyone has a different approach to idea pins. I will say one thing. I have worked with a lot of people who only do idea pins or only do standard pins, and that will not work. With Pinterest, you want to use all the pins. So if you can make an idea pin each week, that is really recommended and helpful. But if you can only create an idea pin once a month, then just do it once a month. Consider repurposing content as much as possible. Those talking, the voice type reels and TikToks don't always do so well on Pinterest. You can try and throw them up there. It's not going to like hurt anything, but make sure you don't have the TikTok logo or the Instagram logo. Use SnapTik or whatever those applications are to remove it. I personally download it when I'm getting ready to upload it to Instagram and I'm done with it. I download it and then so it's clean, and then I upload it to all the other platforms, but I upload it in platform and I make sure that I put text on that first, at least that first cover screen, because that's searchable keywords. So make sure you're putting the text on top of it. And then the workflow that my clients use is when they create a blog post, they create an idea pin, they create 5 standard pins. The idea pin, they turn it into also a video pin, because you can put it on a different board than the idea pin is on later. You don't, the other thing is I would say, don't put 5 pins in a row on your account that's all going to the same URL, even if they're slightly different graphics, because it looks boring. Like, it is so much better to have a pin on this blog and then a pin on this blog and then a pin for a lead magnet, then a pin about your services, then a pin about your free Facebook page. Like, all the things, just intermingle it so it's not sort of a boring feed, if that makes sense.
It does. All right. Well, we are right at the top of the hour. I wish we could have answered all the questions. Jen, what's the best way for people to reach out to you if their questions were not asked?
The easiest way is to go to Jen Vasquez Media. Just make sure you use 2 Z's in my last name. A lot of people spell it with an S, and that's kind of how people type it automatically. But Jen Vasquez Media, Instagram, it's easy. A lot of people are on Instagram, and you can send me a DM, and I'm happy to help.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jen. Thank you for sharing all your knowledge. Thanks for all of you for being our customer and part of the Tailwind community and being here. Jen has a really great resource guide for you here at this URL. I will also include it in the replay video that we send out to you via email tomorrow, along with tips from us that we put together in a PDF form. So thank you. I hope you all got something out of this. Let us know what you think about Ghostwriter, and we will see you again soon.
Yeah. Bye,
Okay,
guys.
bye.